Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in. We all know that the marriage institution is really endangered today, and that's why I'll be looking at marriages in diaspora, some of the challenges they have, and possible solutions, how one can still make these marriages function even when there are challenges. So, the first thing I would like us to review is the man in the marriage. See, the African man that comes here to Europe or America, he's actually been grinded through the system, which means he's a broken man, he's a frustrated man, he's an angry man, and he's a tired man. Now, somewhere along the line, when he is able to grasp for a little bit of air, he decides to, get a wife, start a family, and fulfill his dream or what he believes is his purpose in life to get married, start a family, and undergo a healing process. He believes that by getting a wife, all his damaged ego or soul will also be healed, that the wife will be there for him. Now he goes, most cases, he goes to Africa, he meets a young lady, he polishes himself out like a knight in shiny armor. And this young lady falls for him. She falls for him not just because she sees a knight in shiny armor, but because she's really bent on, improving her life financially, also maybe going to the Western world, having a better opportunity there. So they go into a marriage. Now, when the wife comes here, she notices that everything that glitters isn't gold. It's not so lovely here after all. It's very lonely out here. And you're in a marriage with a man whom you don't really understand, and the man doesn't understand you too. And there's not enough love. So you see, some of the challenges that come into our marriage are because, firstly, the reason we went into those marriages were wrong. The man didn't go into the marriage because he now really loved this woman and believed that he could spend the rest of his life with this woman. He went into this marriage because he feels it's time to get married. He has to procreate. And the woman too didn't go into this marriage because she felt she really loved this man and I can't live without him. No, she felt, maybe pressure, is time to get married and I want to improve my life. So now, this marriage has been started on a very rocky foundation. But despite that, we can still make these marriages work if we just apply, a bit of patience, endurance, and, put certain things into practice. So I'd like to look at a few things we can put into practice to make our marriage work. But I don't think I can do that in one video, so I'll have to break this down in several videos probably, and I'll try to be really on point so that we don't draw it out too long. Now, the first very important aspect of a marriage is that both parties should know their roles in the marriage, know your responsibility, your duty. Now, as a man, your main role in a marriage is to provide for your wife and protect your wife. Now, in society we have today, especially here in diaspora, there's nothing really much to protect. We have an effective police system. There's kind of law and order and so you're not really having to function very much as a protector like in the olden days. So what is left is you are the provider. Now, of course, we have to understand these men. Many of them, they could not, they were not empowered in Europe. So they often don't even have jobs that they could use to really provide for their wives adequately. So now what do you see? The government is coming in, or the social welfare, and helping the man or taking over the man's role as a provider. On the alternative, the woman that has come here now gets a job and is forced to take over the man's role as a provider, which is also not bad because, when two people join as one, it's very important that we help our partners to carry out their roles or to fulfill our duties, their duties. So good. You now have a man, he's there, he's not really a typical provider because the woman is helping him to provide. Or even if the man is totally providing for the woman knows deep in her that, look, any day I'm fed up, I can kick you out and you'll have to pay maintenance or the government will come up for me. So I'm not really dependent on you. This marriage doesn't have to work at all costs. So that's the duty of the man, which is already jeopardized. Now we look at the duty of the woman, which is to take care of the home. And, that's a classical duty of a woman. I don't think that can be disputed anywhere. But now we have a problem here. Often you see the woman having to go out to work, help the man to provide. So why can't the man also, sit back and think and say, listen, I have to support my wife. My wife is supporting me in my duties. Then why can't I support my wife in her duties? Why can't I help her? Because she comes home, she's tired. Why can't I say one day, just, sit down, I'll do the cooking. Or sit down, I'll carry the baby. Why do you expect the woman to, go out and walk, and come back and still carry all the duties on her head in the house? Why? And there's something, most people don't think about. Often men come up with this, it's the duty of the woman to take care of the home. That's how it was in the olden days. But that's really wrong. Even if we go to the biblical times, look at in the days of Abraham and Sarah. My goodness, Abraham had his whole family. He had servants, he had slaves. They were doing all the work there. In the biblical times, the woman was not doing the whole work again. Many of these things men ascribe to women as, it's your duty to take care of the house. Those things, women were not doing them in the days of old. In the days of old, how many clothes were you wearing? How many clothes, even if the wife had to wash? You probably had just one set of clothes. You didn't have a sitting room, 3 bedrooms and all that, a car, and no, it was all very, very modest and moderate. So now, just be fair, men. You have packed the job of a wife, slave, servants, relations. You've packed it all on this head of one woman. And you tell this woman, it's the duty of the wife to keep the home. That's not right, men. That's not right. And that's not a good foundation for, having a good home. Men, please help your women at home. Women need this help. It's too much. You can't cope. I'm a woman, I can tell you. It is too much. It breaks you. And for us women, there's something we have to realize. Many of us came here with the intention of making a better life also. But tell yourself in the truth. How much money were you earning back home? Were you earning up to 100 or 200 euro? No, you weren't. And now you come here, you have the opportunity, of going to school, getting a job, earning like maybe almost 2,000 euro or more. You start hustling with your husband. You start fighting, quarreling. Everybody back home knows how much money do you have, how much money does the government give for children, how much is the tax refund. You start hustling. You forget to think that if this man didn't bring you here, you wouldn't even have had this opportunity to earn this money. You wouldn't have had this opportunity to help your family at all. Now the man has brought you here. And you came because, you wanted to come to Europe or you wanted to go to America or wherever. You came. You came to receive all the good, but you are not ready to make the sacrifices involved. Please, husband and wife, this is the one important and the first topic in marriage I would like to discuss about. Please know your duties and have a commitment to serve. If we can, Start by that. It goes a long way in the marriage. So I'd like to stop here for today, and I'm going to make a follow-up video with other tips and advice on what one can do to make a marriage work. I hope this has been of some use to you, and if you think it could help somebody else, then please help me and help them and share this video. Thank you.